Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for another video. What we're going to do today is we're going to be looking at our 2025 to 2026 Texas Tech Red Raiders football team. We're going to completely break this team down. Look at the rosters. Look at some of the pieces they added from last year's team, some of the pieces they lost. But hype has never been higher than this season. They are bringing in the #1 transfer portal class, and there's murmurs out there. There is word that the Red Raiders might be competing for a Big 12 championship this season. Some people are also picking them as an underdog to not just compete for the Big 12 championship, but find themselves in the final 12 in the playoffs once we get to the end of the regular season. First things first, though, guys, make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe. If you have any comments, you agree with me, disagree with me, what are your thoughts on the Red Raiders for this year? Let me know down below, and I will make sure that I respond to every single comment. If you want to sign up for one of our member teams, look down at the pinned comment below, click on that link, you can sign up there, and I would definitely appreciate that. We have the Red Raiders schedule up there on the board. We're going to completely break this thing down, and we're going to be looking at the Vegas predictions. What does Vegas think right now? What games do we predict them to win, to lose? What games might be toss-ups? We're going to look at it all, guys. And once the regular season starts for college football, we go over every single college football game every week. We do them all. We do predictions. We do our best bets, the money lines, the spreads, the over-unders for every single game for all 132 teams. We break them all down. So if you're a sports fan, if you're a football fan, make sure to like and subscribe. And we also do the same thing for the NFL games as well. So looking at our 25 Texas Tech team, obviously, you have McGuire back as the head coach. He went 8-4 during the regular season last year. Not a bad season. Right now, Vegas preseason-wise is predicting them at 8.5 wins, so they could potentially capitalize on where they finished last season. And I already mentioned, they have the #1 transfer portal class in the nation. Not in the Big 12, in the entire nation. Texas Tech, they threw a lot of money out there. They brought in a lot of pieces. Look for a much improved defense, but we all know what Texas Tech is really known for. They are known for their offense, their scheme. Get the ball to the playmakers, get them in space, allow them to do what they do. McGuire's going to want to make sure that he continues to do that, but he wants to take strides forward on the defense. If the offense stays consistent, but the defense doesn't get better, it's not going to help. A lot of your similar teams are still out there in the Big 12, but it is wide open. This is really the chance for Texas Tech to catapult and take advantage of the Big 12. Texas is out. Oklahoma's out. Arizona State, they lost Scadaboo. Colorado, they lost Sanders. They lost Travis Hunters. Now's your chance. You still have the Kansas teams there. Kansas and Kansas State, they are still competitive squads, but you got a real shot here. You got a real shot to win the Big 12. You got a real shot to make the playoffs. That would be awesome for you Red Raiders fans. And of course, you obviously have Morton back as the quarterback. 27 touchdowns last year. 8 picks. Look for him to improve this season. Joyner at running back. Williams, wide receiver stacked. You have Eakin, Douglas, Virgil, West Turner. There's a lot of weapons there. We know they're going to be able to move the ball on offense. Like I said, we just need to see some improvements on the defensive side. Looking at the schedule up there on the screen, you see the Blue Star. The Blue Star is the games that Vegas, as of right now, predicts them to win. The Red Star is the games that Vegas predicts them to lose. And the Yellow Star is the games that Vegas predicts are going to be a toss-up. I'm not saying they're going to win. I'm not saying they're going to lose them. It's what does Vegas think right now? And when you have a toss-up game, it's just because there's a lot of unknown variables. A lot of teams have new quarterbacks coming in, so we just have to wait to see how those teams have developed in the offseason. But we should find things out pretty early on looking at these teams. But let's not waste any more time, guys. Let's start running through these games. We have some fun matchups, and we have a lot of hype right now. The big question, will Texas Tech be able to live up to the hype this season? Will they be able to reach what Vegas is predicting at 8.5 wins? They're going to open the season Saturday, August 30th versus the Arkansas Pine Bluff. Obviously, this is an FCS team. This is going to be at home. This is going to be one of those games you want to get everything rolled up. You want to get everything moving well. You want to get the offense on track. You want to get the defense playing well. You want to start off with a couple cupcake games, really get the ball rolling downhill, get that momentum built up. So once you hit Big 12 conference play, this team is steamrolling people. This is obviously going to be an easy win. They're probably like a 52-17 type game, and they should cruise here. Then after that, Saturday, September 6th versus Kent State. So now we see a little bit of an increase in the competition, but not by much. Texas Tech should beat Kent State handily. They should dominate this game. You should continue to see the offense flourish, continue to stretch its wings. They're going to blow them out. It's not going to be close. Back-to-back, starting out the season undefeated 2-0. Then after that, Saturday, September 13th. These are all home games too. We have us versus the Oregon State Beavers. Kind of an interesting game. It's an out-of-conference game. Oregon State without a home, obviously with the entire Pac-12 getting dissolved here, but Oregon State has had some pretty decent teams, some pretty decent seasons the last couple years, but they have been completely decimated through the portal. Obviously, they lost Jonathan Smith off to Michigan State. They were decimated. People came and picked this team apart the last 2 seasons. The roster, a lot of work to do. There's going to be a massive talent disparity, and I see Texas Tech scoring some points here, but for some reason, this is their first true Division I test. To me, they're going to give up some points here because it's going to be a little bit of a shock value, but it's going to be a game they pull out and win because they're not necessarily worried about the Beavers. They're going to be concentrating on the Big 12 play starting the very next week. Texas Tech starts the season out 3-0. Then after that, Saturday, September 20th at the Utah Utes. This is an interesting game. Utah, very difficult place to play every single season. Kyle Whittingham, very underappreciated head coach. You know they're going to be disciplined. You know they're going to be extremely physical at the line of scrimmage in the trenches. That's what they pride themselves on. Usually, if they do lose a game, it is usually a very close matchup, but they are also replacing a lot of pieces. You never know with their offense. They've been hamstrung by Cam Rising the last couple seasons. He's been saying he's the starter. He plays one game, he gets hurt. For about 15 seasons now, he is finally gone. We will be able to see Utah without that dead weight of dragging him around season in and season out. Kyle Whittingham, though, I love Kyle Whittingham as a coach. I don't necessarily love his offenses, but I love the way that he gets the most out of his players. He develops them. You have to take Utah serious, but Utah also has to take Texas Tech serious. They are one of the favorites in the Big 12, talking about the Red Raiders here. So their offense is going to come prepared to score, but this is going to be the true test for Texas Tech's defense at the line of scrimmage. Their front seven here, making sure to stop Utah's run game. They usually have a very good run game. I have this game marked as a toss-up, guys. I'm not saying the Red Raiders are going to lose it. I'm just saying it's going to be a very physical game. I want to see it play out first. I want to see what to expect from Utah, and this is the first true test for Texas Tech here, and it's on the road. Sometimes you drop one of these games. This is the type of game that you might drop. If you force me to pick a team to win it right now, I would obviously pick Texas Tech, but early on, it's a toss-up. And then our 5th game of the season, Saturday, October 4th, at the Houston Cougars. This is obviously a team that's also been completely decimated through the transfer portal. Their coach started out last season, had to replace a lot of pieces because, like I said, they were decimated through the portal. They did not have the best year last year, only winning a couple of games here. This is going to be a tough one here, but this is going to be one that Texas Tech, this is an in-state rivalry game. To me, it's going to be one of those games probably going to be close first, second quarter, and then Texas is just going to curb stomp them. They're going to own the second half. The offense is going to be too much. Texas is going to win it by at least 2 scores. And worst case scenario, even if you lose the toss-up, you're still 4-1 right now, but you can very easily win the toss-up, and you're sitting here 5-0 undefeated, and you better bet you will be ranked at this point. And this is a real tough game here. Saturday, October 11th versus Kansas. Yes, they don't have Neal at running back anymore, but Daniels is back. This is a team that very underperformed last season, but the talent is there. The coaching staff is there. There's going to be a team that's going to have a very good offense. They also get the most out of their roster. This is the type of Kansas team. A little bit of a letdown last year, so look for a rebound here. You got to keep your eyes on this one. I have this marked as a toss-up. Again, if you force me to pick a winner, I'm going with Texas Tech. They have the far better roster. They have the experienced veteran quarterback, but so does Kansas. But I do think Texas Tech has the overall better team on offense, on defense. But Kansas, you know, the way they finished last season, they were hot. They finally lived up to their potential that last month of the regular season, beating ranked teams, playing competitive good games, run the ball, playing solid defense, pushing the ball vertically down the field. So it's just what version of Kansas shows up here? That's the big question mark here, but we have this marked as a toss-up right now. Both of these teams are more than capable of beating the other. And then our next game, this is going to be a really tough team. Both of these teams more than capable of pulling off the win here Saturday, October 18th at Arizona State. This is a team that won the Big 12 last season, made the playoffs, and duked it out with Texas. Probably should have won that game, but, you know, the refs had some questionable calls that just coincidentally happened to continually favor the Longhorns. But right now, Arizona State, Cam Scadaboo's gone, but Levitt's back at quarterback. He's getting a lot of Heisman buzz. They have Tyson back at wide receiver. Very competitive team, very good team here, but Texas Tech also returning a veteran quarterback with probably the overall better roster here. But Arizona State's roster, they are not scrubs. They've been working the portal just as well as Texas Tech the last few seasons, and they're a well-coached team. I honestly do believe this game will be very close. I think Arizona State will be the favorite preseason-wise coming into this game, and I think that they'll pull out a very close win. But I think it's going to be a shootout. This is the type of game that you win like 41-38, miss field goal. That's what makes the difference here. I do have Arizona State pulling out the win here, but like I have been mentioning, Texas Tech more than capable of pulling off the win, but you're going to get upset at some point in one of these games. This game was a crazy shootout last season. Probably shouldn't have been, because Oklahoma State, they did not live up to expectations last year. They did not know how to use Ollie Gordon. They were not consistently feeding the ball. Saturday, October 25th versus Oklahoma State Cowboys, Mike Gundy, just like Kyle Whittingham, one of the more underappreciated, longest tenured coaches in all of college football. Oklahoma State, we really do not know what to expect from this team at all. Last season, even though the Cowboys had a god-awful season, this game was still a shootout. A very close game. I do think it's going to be a shootout again this season, but again, I think Texas Tech's going to pull it out. They're going to be the favorite team here as well. And how about this one? A lot of people are picking Kansas State to win the Big 12 handily this season. Saturday, November 1st at Kansas State. On the road here in Manhattan. This is going to be a tough game on the road. Kansas State, one of the best coach disciplined teams in the nation. What I say that is, this is a team of 2 and 3 stars, and their coaching staff gets the most out of them. They can compete with the big boys no matter who they're playing. They have Avery Johnson returning as the quarterback, the highest recruited player in Kansas State's history. He showed what his upside was last season. He had some questionable times, but he was a young quarterback. He can sling it. He's a vertical running, mobile quarterback. When he takes off, he picks up massive yardage on the ground. They had one of the better run games and a very questionable secondary last season, but this was actually a pretty decent defense, and their offense really caught on second half. This is a 10-win team no matter what. It's going to be one of those teams that Texas Tech is battling for the Big 12. They might even be playing them in the Big 12 championship. This is going to be one of those games. It's a 50-50 toss-up to me, but I'm going to go with Kansas State again here. Being the favored team preseason-wise by Vegas, Texas Tech can win it. Yes, they can. There's no doubt about that. There's no argument there, but I think Kansas State is going to win this in a very close, high-scoring matchup. This is another team that had a great season last year. Saturday, November 8th versus BYU. This was a 10-win team last season, and they came out of nowhere. They just had a 5-star quarterback commit to BYU. Props to them. Again, there's some very underappreciated head coaches in the Big 12. No one's giving them shout-outs, but they are getting some dominating performances from their young teams. BYU, you don't want to sleep on them. This is the type of team Texas Tech would be the favorite against, and then they would drop this game in past seasons. But with the added talent that they've acquired through the portal, they should be the more talented team, but you have to respect what BYU did last season. They will continue to have a top 25 season to me this year, but I also think Texas Tech will. So I'm going to mark Texas Tech with winning this game, but I think it's going to be a very close one. And what do you know, Scott Frost is back home Saturday, November 15th versus the UCF Knights. This is one of those teams, Scott Frost completely flipping the roster, has to reestablish his old game plan, the way that he wants to run this program from his undefeated season that he had years ago. Seems like it's been 3 decades since then, but it hasn't been that long. Scott Frost, though, great offensive mind, but how long is it going to take to get his players established, to get his scheme installed here? Might take, 2 seasons or so for that to happen. So Texas Tech, they're going to run roughshod over them, and I do have them being the favorite team here. And then another historical coach returning back to his roots, returning back home Saturday, November 29th at West Virginia. Morgantown, tough place to play, rabid fan base, but Rich Rodriguez is back. He has unfinished business here from what happened. What was that, back in 2005, 2006? It was a long time ago when he used to be there, when he brought the team almost to the cusp of making the national championship. A lot has changed in college football since then. It's been about 2 decades. Will he be able to reignite? Sometimes the second round never quite works like the first, but for you West Virginia fans, I'm hoping Rich Rod can right the ship here, because it'd be a fun thing to watch. Right now, I have Texas Tech winning this game, closing out the season. They just have to make sure they're not looking at a Big 12 championship here, and they don't take this game serious, because this isn't a bad team, but new scheme, completely changing the scheme. It's going to take a little while to get fully entrenched here. So that's what we have Texas Tech finishing the regular season. If you want to count the Blue Stars, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Blue Stars. I'm not saying they're only going to win 8 games. I'm saying that's the games that they are early preseason favored against. 2 losses, so that's 8-2 potentially here. And then you have 2 toss-ups. They could easily win both of those toss-ups, 10-2. That's making the Big 12 championship. That's potentially getting you into the playoffs. That is nothing to scoff at. Even if you split the toss-ups and you finish 9-3, if you win the Big 12 championship, you could potentially still make the college football playoff. So no matter what, I'm expecting a very good season from Texas Tech, and I hope you guys have a great season. It will be fun to watch. I remember the old Mike Leach days. Let's get Texas Tech back on track. That would be fun. Guys, thank you for watching this video. That's our breakdown and predictions for our 25-26 Texas Tech Red Raiders football team. Make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe. If you have any comments, by all means, drop it below, and I will make sure that I respond to every single one of them. If you want to sign up for one of our member teams, look down at the pinned comment below. Click on that link. You can sign up there. And of course, thank you for watching.